Test, test, test. What's going on, y'all? Happy Saturday, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Good evening, actually, or good afternoon. How we doing, y'all? Hello, hello, hello. We are here to do political debates. If you are a Trump supporter and you want to debate, hop into the box. Come tell me why you like Trump. What's up, Janelle? Thank you for the follow, Will. Welcome back, everybody. We are doing political debates. And if you support Trump, we are looking to talk. We're looking to debate. What's up, Ollie? Y'all, thank you for the shares. Don't forget to tap the screen. Get some. We just started. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Let's get some taps on the screen. YouTube, how's it going? We are live, and if you are here, give me a thumbs up on the screen. Give me some chat. Give me some comments. Give me some engagement. We have the phone line on, and if you want to debate and you're on YouTube, you're welcome to call the phone line. And guys, I did a PC restart, so if anything sounds weird, let me know. What's up, Laney? Good to see you. What's going on? Thank you for the heart me's. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope everybody's having a good Saturday so far. I'm on my second energy drink. We took Pickles for a little walk this morning, and we are ready. Where are the Pickles goggles? Let me get them. I can't not wear them, guys. I need to do the SpongeBob sound. And where is your uniform? Wait, wait. All right, let's get the guest window up. Is MAGA dying, chat? I think it is. I think they finally realized the con. Some of us are faster than others. Some of us are quicker. Some of us learn better than others. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna get my scenes back together. Don't give me jump on. Republicans are dumb. Let's do that. Let's see if we can get a debate. About time people are waking up, I know. Want to make a bet Texas will hold Republican this coming up election. You know, they've been holding on to power for 30 years, but it's not because there are more Republicans. And it's not because they do a good job. It's because Republicans are ideologues. Everyone's having trouble getting MAGA to come up. So they've seen the light or they're just embarrassed. Yeah. What's going on, buddy?
Republicans are dumb. Why are we dumb?
I think that you guys vote based on rhetoric, not on outcomes. Bro's driving. Probably got a few grinder notifications. Give him a sec. Hello?
Oh, are you gay bashing over there? Typical.
Mhm.
Typical.
I'm actually bashing
We've got a
people.
Democrat over here, gay bashing. Very typical.
It's actually very, very much the opposite. So I bash people who are
Oh, of
homophobic.
course, because your thinking is inverted. That's how all narcissists are.
Okay. So my point would be that Republicans are homophobic, therefore teasing them that they're gay is an insult and it's fun.
At the cost of the gays that you support and defend and that you want to protect and make them feel welcome by making fun of Republicans who aren't gay to rage bait them, but at the same time at the expense of the gay person. I got it.
Republican ideology.
No, I got it. It makes sense.
Republican ideology makes people closeted. So it's fun to poke at y'all.
Hey, what's up? Yeah. Yeah.
How's it going, chat? Tap the screen. Let's get to 10K really quick. Thomas Stoley is notorious for not liking to have a calm exchange of words.
Anyways, so Republicans are stupid. You know, I just saw something in the news, and I guess some black kid went up to like a white family or whatever, it was a white man, and just shot him. Mm-hmm. What do you think about the anti-white rhetoric? Speaking of rhetoric, do you take any responsibility for that as a Democrat?
No. I don't think that's saying things like fuck the patriarchy. I don't think that saying things about people who have a position of power or have like a dominant representation in society is dangerous at all. It never does. It never hurts. Like, you can't go around saying women are dumb, but we can go around and say men are dumb because men hold most of the power. Right?
Are you afraid of this conversation? Are you going to take responsibility for the type of rhetoric that is costing so much racial division?
What do you think is more prominent? Like white supremacists killing people on behalf of white supremacy, or people killing people about
where are the white supremacists? Name a name of a white supremacist.
Boogaloo Boys, Patriot Front, Proud Boys.
Proud Boys has a black leader, sir. How could they be a white supremacist group?
Dominican.
Either way, he's not white. How could that be?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You hear that, folks? It doesn't matter. Nothing matters that goes against the reality, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. Your reality is the only reality that we can live in, right? It's called TDS reality.
Okay, so
you have
Boys.
a totally.
How about that?
You guys are totally lost on you guys can never win a debate. You have to deny it.
Are you grandstanding?
So are you trying to say that the anti-white rhetoric is a good thing? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I think it's harmless, and I think that it's deserved.
It's harmless.
Yeah, I think it's deserved.
You know, I don't think that you're a very far along thinker, and you don't know. Well, again, You have to be in a false reality because you have to live within your lie. It doesn't work for your lie. You know that there's a white supremacy problem. You can't name one white supremacist, not one.
I just told you. Boogaloo Boys.
Boogle Boys, never heard of
Boogaloo
them.
Boys.
Boogle
Nick
Boys?
Fuentes. How about that?
Nick Fuentes is a Democrat. He just announced that he wants to vote for Democrats.
That's a hard cope, right? Like he's going to do a protest vote. That's not meaning he's Democrat. He doesn't align with any Democrat policies.
He doesn't
He is
align with
far
Trump.
right.
He doesn't align with any Republican policies. What are you talking about?
He is
He's
far right.
anti-Israel. What are you talking about?
Far right. Far right. Every policy he holds is far right.
Far right is anti-Israel? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, just Nazis were anti-Israel, right?
No, so let's get this straight. Far right now. See, this is where you guys get it all discombobulated. We're far right and we're anti-Israel, right? But who's anti-Israel right now? Is it the left or the right?
Were the Nazis anti-Jewish?
You guys are the Nazis right now. You guys are anti-Israel.
Are you for Israel?
I'm for defending Israel, absolutely. They have the right to defend themselves.
They have the right to defend themselves. I mean, we've come a long way from defending themselves to like terrorizing and killing civilians.
Terrorizing and killing civilians. Well, that's something that Iran has been doing for a long time. What do you think about that?
So it makes it okay?
What do you mean? They have to fight back. They have to fight terrorism.
They have to grape children?
That's when you take out leaders.
Grape
that's
children,
when you do security checks. You know, they didn't used to have security checks in Israel, right? It wasn't until they send their little children. They send little boys and little girls to do their horrible acts.
Are you okay with Israelis raping children in Gaza?
Prove it.
In Lebanon? Sure.
Prove it. Prove it.
And the charges were all dropped. I think there was like 5 people that were alleged.
Sounds like they didn't have enough evidence. That's why I'm asking you to prove it. So there's a lot of allegations, but I know that you're gaslighting. Something that we can prove is that they had little bombers that were going through the borders of Israel.
So here's an article by The Guardian. It says that...
So let me get this straight. You make fun of gays.
Sexual torture of Palestinian prisoners aim to raise costs of speaking out. There's tons of articles, dude. Journalist after Israeli threatens to sue. Israel threatens to sue New York Times over article on sexual abuse of Palestinian prisoners. Israeli soldiers using sexual assault to force Palestinians out of West Bank. They absolutely do it.
Yeah.
And it's permitted.
And it's permitted. There you go. There's a cherry line.
It's permitted by the government. They drop all the charges and investigations on these things.
Oh. So now when charges get dropped, that means that they're permitted. Got it.
Yes.
What kind of reality do you live in? So you literally go on here and you lie about everything. I mean, you just lie about everything.
I'm lying, but I have multiple news
articles.
articles.
I mean, isn't it exhausting for you to just keep lying about everything?
Are you just going to say I'm lying?
You're trying to sell your audience that grape is permitted in Israel?
It's used to pressure communities to shape decisions about remaining
or
leaving their homes in the land. It's used to pressure
communities even.
And alter patterns of daily life.
It's even worse than permitted.
It absolutely
is.
Yes.
You're in fantasy land, bro. And I would only ask you to show proof. Any proof. Which you have none. You just make this shit up. You literally make it up.
This is not made up. This is reported on.
What happened on October 14th or whatever?
You mean 7th?
Or October 7th?
Yeah. So
what happened there?
That absolutely did happen to
That absolutely
did
happen.
That absolutely did happen to people at a music festival. People used dead
there was
as
proof.
Trophies.
That's why you know it happened, right?
Yeah, and there's
but
proof
you can't say the same for what you're trying to sell.
There is proof for this too. There is. And there's a reason why Israelis have been disallowed into certain countries at this point. Why Bibi Netanyahu
I can tell you, dude,
multiple
I can tell you that Israel
does
does not permit grape. You're lying. That is complete blasphemy. They do not permit it. No, they don't. If anything, in the Quran, it permits grape.
Same thing
If you
with
want
the
to look at,
Bible, right?
but this is another Darvo. This is another
Same with the
Darvo.
same with the
Accuse
Bible,
the other
right?
side of what you're doing.
Thomas, the Bible permits it too, right?
Is that right? It's permitted grape
Yeah, you have to
against
marry your
non-Christians.
assaulter.
Is that what it says?
You have to marry your assaulter according to the Bible.
I'm sorry, what?
You have to marry your assaulter. If you're raped, the Bible says you have to marry your assaulter.
Where does it say that? You do just make shit up, right?
This is a hard cope for you, man.
What do I have to cope up with? Your lies? I mean, it's pretty easy to cope with that.
So
tell you you're a
Deuteronomy
liar.
22, 28 through 29. The long question, verses state, if a man grapes an unengaged virgin and they are caught, he must pay her father 50 shekels and marry her, and he's forbidden forever divorcing her.
Yeah, we'll look into that.
Okay.
We'll look into that.
Okay. I'm sure you will.
Does it say, I mean, this is also gaslighting because, there is a difference, I guess, between graping infidels, because they're infidels, because they're non-believers, right? There's a difference. Punishing through grape. And that's what you were trying to allude to, right? At the end of the day, you gaslight the Christian faith and find something in there that says that someone has to pay shekels, and we'll look into that. But it still doesn't compare. You're talking about assaulting.
So
you're talking about
the punishment
not just
for grape
permitting
is
it.
50 shekels.
So when I bring up the Quran, you bring up that Christian thing. Isn't that gaslighting?
That's Darvo. Though? That's Darvo right there. You Darvo us because your religion's so fucking horrible that it was the same things that you accuse Muslim religion.
How can I? What does Darvo mean?
Deflect, attack, reverse,
deny, deny,
deny, whatever.
Deny. That's what you did. You denied it, right?
I don't deny. I did. First of all, when did I deny? What claim did I deny?
Well, in order to get away from it, you brought up the Christian faith. The fact that in the Quran it says to grape non-believers.
Did I say no? That's not true.
You did accusing, right? You did the accusing and the reversing of the roles from a victim to
I'm
offender.
just pointing to the double standard. Right? That was not deny.
It's not a double standard. They're two separate things. We already went through it. So is it the same thing to grape a woman and not only permit it, but write it in the Quran to do? Because it doesn't say that in the Christian Bible to do it like it does in the Quran. Isn't there a difference?
It does. It says in the Bible that you should take the survivors of war and you can take them in as your wives, and the children can be your slaves. It absolutely does.
It says that you can take their wives. Where does it say that?
Take people in as your wives. Yes.
Take people in. Show us where it says that. This is more gaslighting. Still doesn't compare, right? Still doesn't compare.
Even if it was true, which it's not, it's still not as bad. Got it.
Well, it's not. It's the current Quran, right? And what they did on October 7th is playing out in real time. Show me a Christian that has raped a woman and done it because the Bible said to do it.
So in Deuteronomy 21:10 through 14, the woman must be brought into the soldier's home where she is required to shave her head, trim her nails, and discard the clothing she wore when she was captured. She's to remain in house for a full month and mourn her parents. Following this period, the soldier can take her as his wife. The rights of the captive: if the captor eventually decided he was not pleased with her, he could sell her or treat her as a slave because he had humbled or dishonored her. Instead, he's required to set her completely free. Amen.
Completely free. You said completely free.
After marrying them, and if you use them and discard them, if you're no longer wish to be with them, you can just let her go.
Yeah, I'll look into that. That's another one I'll look into. And next time I'm on here, I'm gonna destroy you just for manipulating the Bible, because we'll find out what this is. I've never read any of this in the Bible. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Most
recall any of
atheists
this.
read more of the Bible than Christians.
What's that?
Most atheists know more about the Bible than Christians. Do you know that?
Is that right?
Yeah.
I guess they study it, right? So that they can argue it. You're obviously an atheist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you study it so that you can argue it, right?
I look at it very critically instead of with rose-colored goggles.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Christianity, it's just a little thing that kind of carried the world, to where we're at, kind of gave us the world we live in,
Sure.
the rule of law, right? Through all the turbulent times, through the, you know, Roman
It gave us
times.
cannibalism. It gave us slavery. It gave us child marriage. It's so great.
And yeah, and so right now what you're doing is you're shilling for Muslims, and October 7th is okay because there's like a scripture that you could compare it to somehow,
No,
some
I think
twisted
that
way.
what you're saying is that Israelis committing rape on Palestinians is okay because they
Yeah,
did
well,
something
again, you
bad.
have no proof, and you've already stipulated October 7th. You've already been shot down. Your case is closed.
It's not
Okay, your case is
closed.
closed. You brought no proof whatsoever. Okay,
We have
your
83
narrative
interviews
doesn't
of
work.
Palestinian
The
communities.
allegation is so high, right?
Dog, this is everywhere. We have people coming out and saying this. Survivors are coming out and telling their story. I'm sorry they didn't have it on camera for me to show you, but it absolutely is true that this is happening, and they are shamelessly bombing entire communities of civilian lives, creating more and more people, more hatred towards your religion, right? How many thousands of innocent civilians have they bombed since October 7th? Is it more or less than the 3,000 people or 1,200 people on October 7th?
800
How
people.
many innocent people should we have raped and killed in the Middle East after 9/11? What would have made that right?
Show me where the grape is. This is your manipulative lie, because you got to remember this is politics. Israel is not some stupid fucking Muslim uh, administration where they're going to make themselves look bad. They're not stupid, so they're not going to implement
It's a very
allowing
fascist
grape,
country. It's
right?
fascist. They absolutely
Yet,
do.
I, I'm not going to go through this again with you. You've already stipulated what happened on October 7th, and you have no proof of what your allegations
All
are.
right, Kurbet
And it
Humsa, they put a zip tie on his genitals and beat him in front of his community. Uh, and then we have settlers and soldiers stripped and handcuffed and beat in front of the village of Wadi As Sik, urinating on them and attempting to rape one with a broom handle, and took photographs of them naked, which they then distributed publicly.
attempting. They had
So
control of these
they tried, but they
bodies.
didn't get to it.
Let me just get this
All right,
straight.
you're right.
Whenever I hear this attempting, so they were attempting to sodomize him or whatever, right? Okay, so you're telling me that if you have control of someone's body, that was an attempt. You know what I mean? Come on, dude. And
Raping with
these
a
are
broom
far
handle,
fetched. These are far from what happened October 7th, where they
mm.
actually.
So it makes it
Uh,
okay. You're right.
no, it's not. I guess it's not okay, but it's not the allegation that you're presenting. You have zero credibility, right? You do understand that, right?
I don't
When
think
you
so,
sit here
bud.
and manipulate all day for a living, it becomes addictive. Lying's addictive, right?
I'm
This
just
is why
reading
I
the news for
believe
you,
in
man.
this is why I believe in Satan. I believe and unfortunately, I think you're possessed. I think that you lack so much God, that you're so dishonest. You're the type of people. That's why Democrats are the Democrats. You don't have a
I
conscience.
don't
You're
believe
lying
I
all
don't
the
believe in
time.
all of this. None of this is a lie. You're just wishing it's a lie. You're just hoping it's a lie. But I'm giving you specific examples, and you're like, "Oh, well, who believes that?" And I'm the devil for even saying it.
No, you haven't given any specific
I gave
examples.
you a
You're giving me
name.
weak.
I gave
Your
you.
your narrative isn't even close. You said that they are permitting grape in Israel. You're
They
fucking
are. There
weird,
was a
bro.
group of 5
You're
men
fucking weird, dude.
who were
Okay?
absolutely guilty of this, and the charges were all dropped.
You don't even see, like I said, I do believe that lying and dishonesty is addictive. You know, being evil is addictive. And whatever you do evil, you do it more and more and more to get to the point.
I
I
guess
mean,
it's just you
honestly,
coping with the truth.
you live in a false reality. You're totally narcissistic, you know?
Sure.
All of you guys are. All of you guys are. If I asked you, what do you think about the we can never get anywhere with you people. I mean, I want to say this before I go. You are the guy, okay? You people, all you whites, okay, on the Democrat side, all right, are going to be responsible for our racial problems, okay? And you will be at the front lines
This is
dealing with that.
actually this is awesome. This is from the ICC. This is a Human Rights Council, the 58th Division. More than a human can bear. Israeli systemic use of sexual, reproductive, and other forms of gender-based violence since October 7th. This is a
Gender-based violence. You
49
people are so
page.
fucking weird.
This is a 49
Gender-based
page.
violence. This is gender-based
Yeah, this
violence.
is you
This is serious.
minimizing
This
grape.
is serious stuff, guys.
Guys, this is a Christian minimizing grape for you. This is the most holiest
How
of
am I
holy people.
minimizing grape?
I'm evil, but this guy is just making fun of gender-based violence.
Well, you're a liar. Who wants to live like if we can go back to the same discussion about the racial problem in this country and you run away from it like crazy
What's the racial
because you
problem?
think it's safe I just ask you. I brought up something, you know it's true. You know that we're experiencing a lot of anti-white rhetoric. You know it's a problem, but like a evil person, you ignore it,
This is called
okay?
white
And you
fragility.
move on
It's called white
to whatever
fragility.
you topic you want to talk about, which is bullshit. It's TDS
So
bullshit.
if
It's
you
I
have
hate
one
Trump because
instance of race-based violence against white people, and then we have 1,000 on the other hand where it's race-based violence against people of color, which one do you want to address?
here I think
You just
that
have
it's
one?
starting to sink in for most people, most normal people. Obviously, you get paid to sit here and lie, but you're disrespected just like I am, right? And so the difference between me and you is you're pretending it's not happening, and I understand it's happening. So you can pretend that it's not a problem, and you can pretend that you go to the next
Kind of like
TikTok,
you're doing with
scroll up,
race-based
and
violence?
you can see these rooms, the way they talk to white people, the way they talk about white people. And this is where you're getting the chud, the builder, or whatever type of personalities, because that's the
Isn't he the right
reaction to that.
wing? Oh, he's justified because it's so bad. The white-based
No,
violence
he's
is so
not right
bad.
wing, actually.
He's
Did you
very
know that
right
he
wing.
called? Do you know that he called Trump a rapist?
Oh wow! So that means if he's not part of your cult, he's not right wing.
Dude, you
Do you
wear a
see how
mask and take
tribalistic you
shots.
are?
How am I in a cult?
I
You
follow
you wear a
science.
mask and take shots.
The whole
Where
world
do
did
you get
this.
cult from?
Cult is somebody who's incapable of like criticizing their leader. So the second somebody comes out like Thomas Massey against Trump, he's a rhino. Or anybody on the right that comes out, Liz Cheney, Adam
Thomas
Kinzinger,
Massey's full of shit. The Epstein
he's a
files was a big
rhino.
dud, bud. The
Oh
Epstein
man,
files was a
you're
big
right.
dud.
There's nothing to see there. There's no one to arrest.
Again,
You're right.
it's just we can rely on one thing that you guys can never get over. Joe Biden and the FBI and the administration under Biden would have never ever let this man become president if they had serious allegations on him.
You
The
guys would just
cover
say
up.
that we're trying to shoot him and put him in jail out of no reason. It would make him even more of a martyr for you, I promise.
Excuse me?
He got TikTok violation. Even if someone did bring allegations on Trump, like 28 times they did, you would just say that they're against him. It's the deep state. What's up, Fuzzy?
I just want so that guy. His only defense there was three times up until Chud the Builder. Three times he said TDS. You did not say the name Trump one time in that whole conversation. Not even the word Trump came up, and his only defense was TDS. That's that's just crazy to me. These guys, and he had no other. You can't debate anything. You are full of TDS. That was his only argument.
And I'm evil.
Yeah, and you're evil because you read the Bible and you have an opinion. I know more about the Bible than he does. And I'm in the same boat. I educated myself about the Bible. I don't know the Bible for shit. I know more than he did. And I realized, I don't agree with any of this. None
Yeah.
of this makes sense. A potion, a recipe for AB, that's in the Bible too.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, none of them know any of it. And then the what was that? The Old Testament. So
Yeah.
you're picking testaments. So you decide the old one is no good because it's too violent for you. You're just going to take the comic book version of it.
Yeah. I like the idea how God changed over the course of time, even though he's outside of space and time. I like
Exactly.
that part.
And the course of time, which by the way, Earth has only been around for about 400 years, according to them.
Yeah.
The whole thing. The whole thing. But yeah, I just wanted to point out the fact that you never even brought up Trump's name, and he brought it up 3 times, and you had TDS. But what's new, buddy?
And just reading up on this nice little report about the IDF raping women and children.
Oh, that completely happened, and it's yeah. The Israeli is completely allowed, and the fact that he kept, first of all, he couldn't even, October 14th, dude. If you're gonna bring up the argument, get the right date. But what they did that day was a horrific day, no doubt about it. But it doesn't warrant a genocide.
Hey man, what's up?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I am.
Cool. What do you like about Trump?
What I like about him, I like the fact that he's one of the most truthful candidates we had in a long time. He's also somebody who is not really with the entire globalist ideology of a lot of more Democrat, even some Republican candidates.
How in the world did you determine he was truthful?
The fact that he's been truthful about a lot of things. He's let the alien files go through. He has Epstein's files going through currently.
He's hiding
He's
half of
done,
those.
but he's not.
He's only released
Majority of those were
50%,
deleted before he
right?
was even in office.
He's hiding like 50% of them. He no longer wants to release anymore.
Those 50% were already deleted before he even got in office.
Says who? Who? I've never even heard that.
What do you mean? The FBI literally came out and said that they have deleted multiple bits. Not
No, he
only
says
that,
that he's no longer releasing any more files, that he doesn't even want to investigate anybody. He's made 0 arrests. By the way, Trump has 30,000 documented lies, mistruths, misleading statements in his first administration. 30,000 tracked by the Washington Post. Every single one of them are on a page you can look at. Every single one of them.
and you're acting like every other Democratic leader hasn't done it 10 times worse. You have Obama who lied about what his agency and what ICE was doing in America. You have Obama when he was talking about how many countries he bombed. You have Biden who was talking about how many reported files of COVID happened. Every other president has.
First of all, there's no actual information that would prove that Biden lied about the deaths. There's no. You guys are still in the conspiracy about COVID, and this is sad. The entire world has done all of the
New
math
York
and the
Times
studies
came
on
about it.
this.
Washington Times came about it. NBC came about it.
Okay, Washington Times, and what was it? The claim is that Biden lied about how many people died?
No, he's talking about the skewed reality of the results of the death. A lot of those people didn't actually die from COVID. They had difficulties due to COVID, and then later died from other causes.
Comorbidity, dude. If you're diabetic and you die because you had COVID, because it made your oxygen levels go low, but the predetermining factor was diabetes, you still died of COVID.
No, that's not what a lot of those results were. A lot of those skewed results were. A lot of the results were actually things like they had other type of diseases where they died from because they had COVID a month or a week later. They called it a COVID death.
All right. Let's talk about some of the egregious lies Trump has entered the White House with, all right?
Would you like to give me an example of one?
Yeah. So who pays the tariffs that he's put in place?
Who pays them? The people he puts tariffs on, the countries.
My sweet spirit.
You act like every other country didn't have tariffs on us.
That's not what I said.
They were reciprocal tariffs.
They were not reciprocal by any means.
Yes, they were. They were reciprocal by all means.
Let's talk
Canada,
about who
for
pays them.
example,
Let's
had
stay on track. Let's stay on track. Who pays
other
if Trump?
countries.
No. If Trump puts a 10% tariff on China, tell me the mechanism in which China pays that. Tell me.
China pays it with the money they get when Americans buy the products, which
So
China
we send China
had
a bill.
150. No, American people sent bills to China and they used that money to pay the tariff.
Uh-huh.
You realize China also had a tariff on us too. They
Yeah.
had 1,500% tariff on American-made vehicles.
Yeah, because we did that to them. We had a 100% tariff.
No,
on
they
them.
did it to us folks back in 2016. What are you talking about?
We've been tariffing their EVs forever. We've tariffed their chicken. We tariff their poultry, their meats. We tariff their everything. And these are not reciprocal in nature at all. So there's not a single country that had a 10% blanket tariff on us.
Yes,
Can
they
you name
were.
one?
Canada, you
Which one?
had Germany, you had
Canada had
France, you
free
also
trade with
had.
us. Canada had free
No, they
trade.
didn't. That is not true at all.
That is 100% true. Besides milk,
That is
dairy.
not true.
Dairy
No,
had a
they had it on
conditional
bread.
tariff.
They had it on washing machines. They had it on microwaves as well.
It's not true.
It is
That was-
true.
That was not Canada. That
was indeed Canada.
No, I believe that was Korea. The washing machines. I believe that.
No, Korea had washing machines and technology such as computers and data chips.
So
just
we
making-
don't have any tariffs from Canada on washing machines.
We do have tariffs from Canada. We have them,
tariffs
like
right
I said,
now.
in Britain for that.
In response to U.S. metals and auto levies, Canada enacted counter tariffs on U.S.-made washing machines. But
No, look at the tariffs before the tariffs that we placed. They had
I'm
multiple
looking at
tariffs
it
on it.
right
We did
now.
not have open trades.
We had
Which is
literally
so for
open
that
trade.
time.
We had NAFTA, right? And then we had the USMCA. Do you know what the USMCA was?
I do not know. Would you like to tell me about that, please?
It's the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement.
Yes,
Trump
okay.
made that
What
agreement,
does
right?
what does
So
that have to do with?
the nature of all the tariffs put in place between all three of those countries were all signed off by Trump. This included something like a dairy tariff. If we hit something like a certain dollar amount in milk or dairy purchases from Canada, it would go into effect. But we've never hit it. Never. So this is just this red herring Trump has put in front of you. But let's talk about who pays the tariff. When Trump puts a tariff on China and I buy something from China, I get a letter in the mail from Trump that says, you owe me this much money and I have to pay it to Trump. In no way does Canada have to pay that. Right?
Okay. So if you are buying a product from China, the company that is based in that would send you the product would up the price of the product. Therefore, you are technically paying for it, but they were just up marketing the product so they can pay for the tariff.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's actually the
A tariff's
opposite.
woke. What are you talking about?
It's the opposite.
Unless
Canada
you were getting it shipped
China,
in from Canada.
China would reduce
Not Canada,
the
my bad.
price.
China.
China would reduce the price of their goods to counter the tariffs so that our costs to the U.S. government
So
would
not
be
the
reduced.
uplifting. That's not what China. That's what hypothetically China should do, but that's not what China.
China's not
They're
raising their
up-marking their
prices
prices.
because the tariff. That makes no sense.
Yes, they are.
It does not make any sense.
Let's
Dude.
hold on. Let's say you get a Timex watch from China. Okay, so it's on the boat, it's shipping along, and it hits the U.S. ports. Okay, that Timex watch has to have a tariff on it. Who pays that tariff? Now let's say Walmart is going to purchase that watch. So Walmart
And Walmart is paying it to be imported. That's how
Okay.
tariffs work.
So now
If
you're
you are
getting
importing an object from another country, you have to pay the tariff if you are importing it into the United States.
Correct.
yes.
The
So
importing
Walmart pays-
company.
So this watch costs $100. Walmart now had to pay $120 for it. Where do you think they're going to make up that $20?
You're upcharging the prices, but you're not buying directly from
What?
Canada in that sense. You are buying from another company or corporation
God, you're
that is
so
buying
close.
from
You're
Canada.
So close to having it.
So it's not the person buying it; it's the company that's buying it who shouldn't be buying from China.
But you're so
buying
close.
it.
He's right there, Pickles, and you've got it drawn right there. God, it almost looks like the Epstein picture, though. God, the birthday card.
So when a company in the U.S. says, "Hey, China, send me a watch," they buy this watch for $100. China sends it. It's $100. When it hits the shore, it's $120. That extra
Because the
$20.
company has to uplift it because of the tariff. The company doing not the
The
people.
tariff. No,
Your whole point
the,
is that tariffs
the U.S.
affect the American
the U-
economy or American people. It's the
Correct.
companies who are
Correct.
upcharging the people because they should be buying American products and not Chinese products.
I know.
Because it is cheaper to buy American
I understand
products.
the idea
Point of
around it,
tariffs.
but who pays the tariff? After knowing this, who pays it? Is it the
You
company on
understand the
U.S.
idea
soil?
of tariffs, but you still want to talk about it like it's a bad thing?
Yes, it is horrible. It fucked up our economy.
But it's not.
Yeah, how's our economy doing?
Economy is actually doing really good. If you look at the MP5, it's doing amazing. What are you talking about?
Okay, but every other metric, unemployment, interest, inflation,
Yeah, unemployment's actually
CPI is
going.
really bad.
The amount of people who are unemployed is lowering in the past couple of years.
The unemployment rate is higher. It's 4.4.
No, it's not. It's lower.
I think the last
Can you show me a
job.
statistic on that then, please?
The last job.
I will admit I'm wrong in that sense. If you can show me a statistic saying that's not true, I would love that. I would love for me to be wrong. I would love to know the downsides of Trump. I would love that. Can you show me the proof to that?
4.3. 4.3. Biden left it at 3 point something. Biden gave Trump the economy at like 3 point something.
Can you press the show more button for me, please, so I can read a little bit more about it?
3.9. Right?
So 3.9, but Biden had it as low as 3.4, which was a historic low. 50-year low?
You really gonna count those type of jobs?
What type of jobs?
Biden made jobs that were not necessary. He made stuff as cultural appropriation jobs, or he made jobs such as like my apologies. But he made jobs that just weren't needed for that type of stuff.
For what type of stuff? Jobs that just
like he made a bunch more jobs in HR department. A lot of HR departments did need more jobs, yet he made more jobs.
About? How did Biden create HR jobs?
DEI jobs?
How did Biden? What law did Biden pass for DEI jobs?
DEI, the bill, the DEI bill. What do you?
How dumb are you?
It's in the bill. Look up the bill.
There is no DEI bill.
Look the bill. Whatever it is. Look up DEI.
Clinically stupid, dude. Are you serious? There is no DEI bill.
But it's true. Look at it.
What is DEI?
The formative. I'm blanking on it. Formative.
There was no DEI bill, dude. I know that Trump's really brainwashed y'all, but Biden didn't pass a DEI bill.
And how did DEI get affected and everything? What happened with DEI then?
DEI has been a thing that companies choose to do themselves.
It's participation. Now you're confusing it with possibly affirmative action.
Oh yes, I am then.
Affirmative action went away. Affirmative action went away in 2023. And that was not Biden either. Biden did not introduce that.
My apologies.
Affirmative action was a long time ago, guy.
Okay. Then I'll admit that I was wrong on that part. My apologies then.
Well, you're not the only one though. This is a Republican talking point. DEI. I mean, you're literally Charlie Kirk. He raved about this. He didn't know the difference either. So I don't blame you. You listen to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah,
no,
I think that
not much.
Trump is not very truthful because I literally make a living off of just fact checking the garbage misinformation y'all bring me.
Would we like to go to a next topic? I would say you would
admit
win that if you were right.
That tariffs are paid for by U.S. companies. The tariffs that were deemed illegal, by the way, those refunds go to who? They don't go to China. They go to U.S. companies, right?
Yes, they go to U.S. companies because they shouldn't be buying from China, which you stated yourself is truthful.
I don't care who should or wouldn't, couldn't, shouldn't, would have. The fact is, the hard fact is that U.S. companies, U.S. consumers pay the tariff. Trump lied on his way in, told you guys constantly that he wasn't raising your taxes. Tariffs are paid for by foreign countries. We have him on microphone 1,000 times. He lied to you and put a tariff down.
Majority of the time, they are getting paid by foreign companies unless you are directly shipping them from those countries.
0% of the time they get paid for by foreign companies. You can't tell me how they would ever pay a tariff.
with the whole soybean trade that they recently they cut it, but when they were doing it, they were paying a lot of that. No,
No, no, no.
this is true.
China puts tariffs on their own people, and Chinese people have to pay the Chinese government on the tariffs the Chinese government place. And that fucked up our soybean farms because we put tariffs on them, and in retaliation, they did that to us because soybeans, like the ninth biggest export we have out of the United States, and so they try to cripple us.
It's large.
He's trying to do in retaliation to that soybean tariff. They went and got it from Brazil instead.
Yes, it did indeed.
They don't need us.
So Trump's not paying 4D chess with China. He's playing 4D chess with you. He is fucking ripping your ass off.
But he's not. He's playing it with the American companies because American companies are now being forced to pay for actual American products and American labor.
And then they're going out of business and they're firing people because it's raising the cost of. Yes, it's raising operating costs. Yes, it is. That's why he made 0 private company jobs. Fucking 0 last year.
He made a bunch. What are you talking about?
He made 0 last year, buddy.
That's not true. You want to look it up because that's just not true.
Have you ever read a jobs report? Have you read any of the jobs report, guy?
Yeah, they will up it. They will lift it. What are you talking about?
Hundreds of thousands.
It won't.
Right?
Gross job losses 7.2 million in 2021. After that,
you said private company jobs. The private company jobs. So again, you have a lot of jobs that were also cut. A lot of jobs that were cut that won't need it.
No, I'm talking private companies. I think that lost in 2025 here. Gross private job losses. What? 29 million job losses? How many?
Does that account for the amount of jobs they cut because they didn't need the jobs or those jobs?
Yeah, because Trump has fucked up trade. The private sector added 398,000 jobs in 2025, and that's compared to 15 million jobs that Biden made. 15 million versus
a lot of those jobs Biden made won't need it.
How were they not needed? You just lied about the ones you thought he made.
Not true though.
You were wrong entirely.
No, I was wrong on the reasoning for why they were made, not wrong on if they were made or not.
And you tell me where I can find how unnecessary those jobs were? Like when Biden passed the infrastructure. You want to bring up the list of
jobs Biden made then?
Biden passed an infrastructure bill that required people to create jobs in the construction industry. Literally have nothing to do with HR. Right?
What type of jobs were those jobs being made? Like, what were the positions those jobs named after?
When people have to go fucking build a bridge, you think about what jobs you think someone needs to have.
Yeah, because there's a difference between the guy who's a construction worker who does the job and there's a guy that's a contractor who is looking and making sure those people are doing good.
Okay, so we'll talk about contractors. We'll talk about people, printing companies that need to make signs for these companies, that need to make road signs. We could talk about gravel companies. We could talk about people who make concrete. All of these companies got jobs, dude.
Yeah, and a lot of them got jobs from Biden in places where they were getting jobs that would essentially be like HR, where they were people who were sent in to say, oh, look, this guy is doing good. He's doing his job. That job is unneeded.
Which bill required the creation of HR jobs? Can you tell me?
The bill you just told me, fuck. I don't remember that. I'll be honest with you, I do not.
Infrastructure Act is what you're looking for. That's the one you're looking for? That's not true. That's where Pickles are going with
the right wingers think that HR is like liberal propaganda, by the way. They like being able to grab women in the workplace and stuff and use.
No, I believe that HR is essentially unneeded to the amount that it has now. HR is good, but I feel like it has too much of it. You shouldn't have 10,000 employees for HR when all you need is like 1,000.
Oh, I guess you should go teach all of these giant super mega corporations how to operate more efficiently.
Yeah, because they would be able to.
What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
Those companies would be allowed to be more efficient if they didn't have to abide by multiple different laws. It is forced on them by. that is forced on them by the called what's the union, like union stuff. A lot of
So you're
unions, if
against
you are,
unions.
I'm not completely against, but I do think they have some unnecessary traits to them. Like the ATF in my views. ATF, good concept, bad like doesn't do it properly.
All right. Again, you're not coming up with anything where Biden, the jobs he created were vastly HR jobs. There's not even a case you can make for that. But again, the jobs he made were from the Chips and Science Act that like made microchip manufacturing, EV manufacturing, biochemical engineering, all of these things have nothing to do with HR. Like they might have HR departments, but I would say that that has nothing. Like he didn't do it any disproportionately towards HR. Like this is just
Okay. Before you keep schooling me on stuff, I just want to say in the comments, what are half of these people talking about? They're saying stuff I never once said. Now, I think you're making a fair argument, but people in your comment are making some weird stuff. But my apologies for bringing it off topic. We can go back to topic.
Don't read the comments.
Yeah, you're right. Apologies.
So let's go back to what Pickles was saying, though. What jobs that were HR jobs? What bill did Biden write that created HR jobs? Do you think that Walmart? Let's talk about Walmart for what I like to use
Okay.
Walmart because they're big and they have a lot of branches. Do you think
Yeah,
there should
absolutely.
be? Hold on. Do you think there should be one HR person for all the WalMarts around the country, around the
No,
world?
there should be around like
One in every
maybe
branch.
5 to 10 for each like major one, and then for smaller Walmarts, it should be
What?
maybe 1 or 2.
Don't you think you probably need one in every building?
What I just said.
No,
I
you
think this is just like a very loose, pointless debate of whether how effective
yeah.
HR is. I think the companies
That's
have
true. That is true.
the ability to like make their own HR departments efficient. They're not the only people with half a brain around here.
But again, that has nothing. Biden didn't create HR jobs.
Yeah, none of this makes any sense. Biden created jobs. Trump fucked it up. He fucked up economy. When we look at the tariffs that he put on China, the first round in 2019, 2018, it lost us 141,000 jobs. What do you think even bigger tariffs did? Did they create more or lose more?
Well, technically speaking, they did lose a bunch on paper, but in reality, they did do a lot of good for American jobs.
How so?
Because when you are a big company, right, and you cannot buy and you having to force and pay a bunch of money to buy Chinese products, instead of buying the Chinese products, what they should do and what a lot of them did do is that they made jobs and factory centers in the United States, therefore giving domestic jobs to American people instead of paying for Chinese products in Chinese factories.
Okay, so when let's bring up an example. Let's say this little cork ball. We have one factory in China and one factory in the United States. They're exactly the same, all the way down to the paint on the trim. Every single one of these factories that make these in China are far less than 10% cheaper than one made in America, right? Because what's the minimum wage here? 7.25, right? And what's minimum wage in
Yeah,
China?
like it's incredibly
It's
low,
far less than 7.25, right? You would say
incredibly
10%,
low.
at least 10% less.
I would say much more than that. I would say
So
it's like what, like $2?
when I'm forced to buy this ball, no one is going, "Oh fuck, let's just buy one that's 70 times more expensive in domestic made." They're just going to buy one in China and pay through the tariffs, right?
That's the whole issue. The issue
So the
that they're
tariffs were
buying and
not
buying
enough
through
to
the
make.
tariffs. So you need to raise the tariffs before they stop buying from China
So, but
and
even if
companies
you
in
doubled
America.
the tariffs, right? Even with 100% tariff, it's probably still cheaper to buy one in China, right?
So you raise the tariffs again.
So even higher.
You enforce the
Again,
law. You
do you
enforce the rules.
That's not the rules. So what you're doing is making companies less efficient. So when I go buy these and fill my
Because it's not okay to
warehouse,
buy stuff from China because they have child.
that's not
How
true.
do I say it in a good self? Yeah,
Yeah.
it is true.
Now,
You have
what's the
Shein, you have multiple
minimum
different Chinese factories.
what's the minimum age for working in China?
Like The minimum age for working in China? I don't think they have a minimum age, do they?
You're
You know,
just
a lot of time they have
brainwashed, my
children
friend.
working.
It's 16. What's the minimum age to work here in the United States?
No age work here, depending on the type of job. Depending on the type of job, but a
What's the
lot of time
minimum
it can
age to
be
work
somewhere
here in the
from
United States?
16.
No.
But the difference is, does China enforce those laws? Because America enforces it. Does China enforce it?
Yeah, sure.
We can still have
I
laws and
I
not
just saw
enforce them.
someone here pay a 10-year-old to mow his lawn. Do you think that we should enforce
That's
that?
not the same. That's not a domestic job. That's not an infrastructure job or like an actual job. More just like, oh, you do this for me quickly and I'll give you
All
ten
right. So
dollars.
again,
Not
you
paying
you
taxes or
you're
anything
making
like that.
very weak arguments against this, but China's working age is 16. In Florida, they're fighting so that 14-year-olds can work overnight. They're fighting for that.
And it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You lost me right there. Can you say that again, please?
They are fighting for 14-year-olds to work overnight in Florida right now.
Chinese? Oh, Florida. Okay. Yeah, but that's working in safer conditions. It's
All right.
different than in
All
China.
right. Okay.
China's not working in safer conditions.
This
China,
is
they
this
don't
is just
have
it's just
they don't
falling
have the
apart, dude.
union in China. They don't have a bunch of other type of
It's
stuff in
literally to
China or
work the
laws
farm field.
restricting them.
It's literally to work the jobs that are getting deported. That's why Florida's doing it. Florida is losing so many people to deportation that they're trying to fight for 14-year-olds to take those jobs and work overnight.
Chat, please do not say anything in regards to somebody's speech impediment up here, no matter how silly they might be. That's not okay.
You think I'll give the host that. That is actually very kind of him. You know, just because that host, I'm be honest with you, I do love to see both sides of arguments. So I'm gonna give you a follow, and I'll probably see me back here again just watching.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
there's been a couple arslers too. That's not good, guys. Um, I don't know. We've gone so far off topic on this. Where do you stand with
You right.
the war? What are you okay with this whole war? Let's talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Personally, I am much more pro war than a lot of the people. Wouldn't you say?
You're all right with us just randomly attacking and invading
I
countries?
wouldn't say randomly, but I do think we had a justification for the current Iran war. Now, if we were to attack a different nation, I would not be okay with that. But the current Iran one, I do believe
So what?
justified
Because
one.
Donald Trump hasn't given us one. So what's your justification?
My justification, if you look at the state media and propaganda, they've actively called for the death of American civilians, and also they've attacked multiple posts.
Can I?
Uh,
Do you
Go
know
ahead.
the history between us and Iran?
I know a loose history. I don't know like the best history, but I know a loose history.
Same here. What do you are you familiar with what happened in 1953?
Is that when we got into issue with them, or was that when they won the Civil War or something?
So we installed a dictator, the Shah, in Iran. Can you imagine Russia coming in and installing like a president in the United States?
Well, I wouldn't say that's a foul of it. It would be more like if the Russia installed a government in, let's say, Poland,
No,
NATO
No.
country.
this is just for you to feel this, right? Like, what if China came or Russia came and installed a president here that was in charge for 15 years? How would you feel?
I would want to fight up against them.
Yeah, you would say death to
Is that
Russia,
Iranian
death
people
to
are
China,
doing?
something like that, right? You'd be pretty upset. You would never forget it. Well, they overthrew that leader in 1979. And ever since, they have been very violent against us. What do you think they're going to do now for another 100 years that we've bombed 170 schoolgirls?
Oh, wait. You're talking, my apologies. You're talking about the Shia, right? The Shia
The
guy,
Shah.
the Shah I thought the prince, the guy who's the prince, was different than the Shah, and the Shah was a part of the the Muslim Shia stuff.
No, the leader's name was the Shah.
Yeah, yeah.
Shah. And they if you look at like Times Magazine did a good report on this, and they went and interviewed and talked to Iranians in the area. Iran's one of the more liberal countries in the Middle East, probably more liberal than Israel. But
Iran?
yes, and
Currently or back then?
I'm sorry,
Currently or back then?
still today they have state sanctioned
Would not say,
like transition
bro.
surgery for people.
That's completely like misidentitying what they're doing. I know about that. What they're doing is that if it is somebody who says that they like men, like if it's a homosexual, they would not be acceptable with it. They would tell the
It's not
the
true.
man to do the trans surgery before he can be a woman, so it'd be good under Allah.
Well, there might be some truth to that, but the government is not necessarily even a theocratic government. They're just a military state.
A military dictatorship.
Yeah. So
It's
when you ask these people colloquially what death to America meant before we bombed their school children and shit, they would just say down with America. They hated our government. They don't hate you and me. They hate the
it's
government.
just the Iranian government, not the actual people of Iran. Actual people of Iran want to do this. They want the war.
No, the people of Iran do not want to kill all of the Americans. They hate Trump. They hate the government.
No, the people of Iran don't want to kill Americans. The people of Iran or Persia, a lot of them would like to say, because a lot of them see themselves as Persians. Those people want the death of their state, like their military dictatorship. The military
Sure, yeah.
dictatorship wants the death of America.
Sure,
Two
sure,
separate
sure.
identities.
Well, okay, sure. I could even concede that I don't even think Iran wants to just bomb America, but Iran's been terrorized by Israel for decades, and they've been trying to convince us to go to war with Iran forever. And when we had the Iran nuclear deal with Obama,
Yeah,
it
Obama.
was
I
it
know.
was
Yeah,
something that completely changed the ability for Iran to talk their allies into attacking them. Israel had no means of saying, "Hey, these people are a threat now." So what they had to do was convince Trump to pull us out of that deal. And now here we are.
we part of that deal though. We part of that deal because they broke the deal.
That's not true.
They did. They had it was oh my god, I had the numbers put up like a week, a month ago, but they had a giant batch of uranium up to I think it was 60%.
That was years after we pulled out.
No, it was a year before we put out.
That's
No.
not true. The
Yes,
IAEA,
they
the agency in charge of monitoring this, said they were
put out in
adhering.
2016.
In 2016
It
was
ran
only a
up
year
the
after.
Yeah, in 2015 when Iran was found and didn't allow members of the deal to check on the uranium supplies, and also were found to started doing more in the Iranian supply and enriching more uranium in 2015. 2016 is when we pulled out.
No,
So I had
2000.
just
No, 2018 is when we pulled out. 2015 is when we made the deal.
right.
How we made the deal in 2000? I thought the deal was made in 2014.
I think it was
No,
15.
15.
Okay, then I would be mistaken with the dates, but still, a year before we put out, they were enriching a bunch of uranium.
So I just had this discussion this morning, and someone pointed out, "Oh, there's a violation." And if you go back and look at it, what it is, and this is a good example. If you had a restaurant and you had a violation, right? The
Mhm.
the health inspector comes in and says, "Hey, your stoves are too dirty. Fix that." You go and fix it. They come back. Okay, you fixed that. Great. Your lighting is not good. Now you got to fix that. So they're all just different little violations that were corrected. Go ahead, Pickles.
So it says right here, the IAEA says they were complying. The only thing they were unhappy with, and they had no authority over, was the fact that they were building ballistic missiles.
Right.
Has nothing to do with the Iran nuclear deal. Has nothing to do with the IAEA. But they were building ballistic missiles. The means of which don't even have the capability of hitting us. But they were absolutely complying.
I wouldn't say they were completely compliant because they did have more enriched uranium than they were supposed to.
No, they didn't.
It wasn't the percentage of enrichment uranium, it was the capacity of what they had. Because I think they're only supposed to have like 4 pounds, right? And they had like 20 pounds,
No,
much more than
I
what was needed.
they were like a 0.5% over at one point, and it was brought to a stop.
Even
It
if you're
did
0.5% over, that's still breach of the contract, would it not be?
right, but it was caught and stopped. That's what I'm trying to
But it
tell you.
wasn't stopped.
so what
It
do you think
was.
they're what do you think the dynamic we have now is better?
Yeah, yeah, I feel the current war that we not war, but the current skirmish or war, whatever you want to call it, we have right now is good because Iranian people back it up. Other nations of the Middle East back it up, as seen by Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE. My apologies for mispronouncing that. But a lot of those other countries want this. They want that. The Iranian people want it. The Persian people want it. Only people who
The
don't
Iranian
want
people
it and
do
are
not
okay
want it.
with it.
They
They do want
for the
it.
first time, these people are so unified with each other because they are common victims of us, of terrorism.
Not unified. The Kurdish people are currently having a civil war over there in Iran. The Persian people are having a war over there, a civil war over there in Iran. It's
No,
just Iranian government that isn't okay
before
with America.
it's not true.
Before us, they were killing the Persian people and forcing them to convert to Islam.
It's still like that's not us, right? Like that's not the IAEA, that's not the JCPOA. Like we're doing that right now to Cuba. We are doing that to multiple other countries. Are we the bad guys?
We're doing what to Cuba?
We're strangling them. What do you mean? What are we? Do you have no idea what's going on in Cuba?
We have a
No, I
complete
do know, but I
embargo
wouldn't
on
say
their
it's
energy.
a fair. I don't think that's a fair comparison between the two, because
You don't think
the United
famine
States hasn't
is
been
as bad as
terrorizing Cuba.
we're
The
creating
difference is that the
famine?
United States has not been terrorizing Cuba. They have not
Yes,
put
we are.
terrorist groups inside of Cuba.
We
Well,
have a
okay.
complete embargo on everything on Cuba.
Yeah, but
Since
We're
that's
not
19
allowed
completely
anything.
different.
since
We don't have
1950,
terrorist groups killing Cuban people.
okay, I don't care. Oh, we're just starving them and giving them cholera and disease and start like what?
People are unaliving as a result of what we're doing to them. It's just not reported on right now because there's so much going on. What we're doing to Cuba is so inhumane. It's crazy, and it's with the thought that we're going to invade them and do a regime change there, which I don't know what we're going to accomplish with that.
And I'm sure they're going to scream "Death to America" for 50 years too.
Right? Exactly.
No, I don't think they will.
Name
Cuban
one
people like
successful regime change that we've done.
successful my God, I can't say that to my life. My apologies, but a successful one would be. Oh man, I was trying to think of one, but I honestly I don't like a lot of the regime changes we had in my
We've
personal
never had
taste,
one.
just because that we done to other countries, like what we did with
That's true.
Iraq, even Iran, like you stated. I don't like that type of stuff because a lot of stuff was done by the CIA, and I'm not a big fan of the CIA. I think that's one of the biggest things with Trump that I don't like, that he hasn't abolished it.
We would be
CIA.
fucked without the CIA. I know that they're the source of many problems. They even control some
They're,
of the
they're the source of
presidents.
like 99% of the issues. They're not good people. I
No,
don't
I
like them.
think that they have things that they do that we don't get explanations for, and people go conspiracy on that.
They have more
To
intel
be
on
fair,
things.
they've done a lot.
They know more
They've done a
about
lot
some
of it.
things than the president does.
I wouldn't say that. Well, actually, no. I would not actually agree with that. I think they've done more helpful things, but I think that's just because of the amount of stuff done. Like someone can do 1,000 good things, but they also done like 19,000 bad things compared to someone who did 100 good things than like 50 bad things. You know,
I would say the same for Trump. Trump has done a majillion horrible things, things to corrupt our government, things to bankrupt this entire country and the world. I think that he has made himself rich doing it, and his cult of personality is somehow cheering for it.
I do think there is some people who do like meat ride Trump a little too much, to be honest with you. Especially like the people who make it almost like it's like they make it like a religion. I don't like that. I don't like. I do personally like Trump, but I don't like the people who make him like a religion. You know, because I'm sure you see the people who are like, "Oh, Trump is God. Trump is beautiful." Especially with Trump's recent post of him being Messiah. He did the AI post where he's like, "Oh, I'm God. I'm helping people." I like that.
Dude,
Completely bad
he
taste.
constantly spews divisive rhetoric at 3 a.m. in the morning, and then we see him asleep in meetings that he's supposed to be a part of.
I would not say he's the main person spreading divisive stuff.
That is wild.
Do you read
I don't
his?
think he is. I do think he does do it sometimes, but I don't think he's doing it the most, buddy. I think
Who
a
do you
lot of the
think does it
media is
more
doing
than
it a lot
Trump?
worse. Media
I think
is a
that
big one. I think media is doing a
Trump
lot.
is just using Darvo tactics about the media. No president besides
Really?
Trump cries about the media like he does.
I don't know about
He
that.
attacks the
Didn't
media.
JFK cry about the media all the time? And we saw what happened to him.
Yeah, I don't think that like JFK said horrible things and then got reported on it and then cried about them pointing it out.
But he did. He did it all the time when they talked about the whole like Monroe stuff with him. Marilyn Monroe. It's apparently there was like a huge thing with his him cheating on his
So,
wife or something.
like when Obama wore a tan suit, he didn't come out and say Fox News should be abolished. They're a misinformation machine. When he ordered
Oh, I do know
Dijon
what you're talking about.
mustard, he didn't say we need to
Yeah, but I
abolish
feel like
Fox
that's
News.
a
They're
lot
illegal.
different though. Because like people like from New York Times was saying, "Oh, Trump didn't have anything bad happen to him, but Trump was doing this, so Trump was like
Trump.
making laws to kill all gay people."
Well,
Like
he
he
just
wasn't
did
doing that.
make like LGBTQ and anti-deportation groups hate groups now. He has made us like terrorist groups.
Are you talking about like Antifa?
That too, baseless allegations about how Antifa is
Oh, I don't know.
funded and
Antifa is not that. Dude, Antifa was at like the whole January 6th protest and causing crap.
yeah.
It
How
would
many got
not.
arrested?
I think it was like I think 6 Antifa members got arrested. I could be misspoken
Did
about. I
did
don't know the
Trump
reality of
pardon
the
those same
situation, but
people?
he honestly could have. I don't know. I don't think Trump's going hard enough on those type of groups. Post, in my opinion, I think a lot of those groups are really bad for America.
Let me ask the chat something, Pickles, real quick. I know I am. Chat, how many of you are Antifa? Just put yes or why.
Yeah,
If you're Antifa, I am. Pickles is.
I'm gonna be honest. He personally, in my opinion, I don't like Antifa. I
Yeah,
don't
here
think
you go.
that
Look how many people are Antifa in the chat. Look at that.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Makes sense. Do you know what Antifa is?
Yeah, it's a anti fascist
Anti-fascism. So you're pro-fascism?
because I don't like Antifa. I don't think that's a fair argument.
What is Antifa? Who? Where do the Antifa dues get paid? Where do I pay my dues to? Who's ruling Antifa? Where are they centered
Who's
out of?
my God, it's someplace. I read an article about it and I just completely passed it with my brain right now. My apologies.
There
No, you
is no
didn't because
Antifa headquarters. If you go to Antifa.com, it goes to the whitehouse.gov.
there is no headquarters. There is no singular ruler of it. There are no dues paid in it. It does not exist. It's an ideology and an ideology only.
It's
And
where I
Trump
remember
is
them
using
shutting down a bunch.
he's using fascist rhetoric to run the country and to
Would-
take full control of his base.
Oh, I don't know if I would say that like 100%. I don't think Trump has said a bunch of like truly don't.
He meets every tenet of fascism. 10 out of 10.
But he doesn't.
Can you tell me which tenet he doesn't meet?
Freedom of speech. He allows people like Antifa to actively say that he's a fascist. So he allowed protests to happen
He just
and
made
not hold
Antifa
people
a
at protest
terrorist group, and we just dropped to
because they
69th
were a terrorist
place.
group.
No, we're not. We just dropped 69th place in freedom of speech, freedom of press, because of Trump. His constant attacks on news stations with the FCC, his constant threats to universities that don't bend a political knee to him. Same thing with law firms. Same thing
Well,
with
yeah, when you're
schools.
having political, my apologies for interrupting. You can go continue. My bad.
His use of the military against cities and states that he doesn't like and jamming them up for voter rolls.
I would not say. I would say that's fair though to make military personnel inside some of those voter booths because a lot of those booths are getting like faked. Like you saw in it was in Michigan where there was somebody who was counting the votes and they were essentially not counting the votes, like a lot of Republican votes.
I don't think we have anything adjudicated in court. So when we talk about fascism, that's one of the tenets. Stolen elections. He's constantly saying stolen elections.
There has been. There's
At
been actual
Rolling
adjudication for
Polybono
them.
super chatted $10. Trump's counter-terrorism plan labeled anti-fascist ideology as violent extremism. He didn't call it Antifa. It's not semantics, it's explicitly calling any dissent as violent extremism.
Yeah, like I feel like after the midterms, if we don't get enough people in, he's going to carry out the rest of his plan. He's following Viktor Orban's playbook. Are you familiar with what Viktor Orban did to Hungary?
I don't actually. I would love to know about that.
So Viktor Orban did the exact same thing in regards to the LGBTQ community. He like outlawed it. He outlawed public performances of LGBTQ stuff. He outlawed Pride. He also made it illegal to have a news station with rhetoric against him. And that all just got overthrown. But he was in power for 16 years. He's an autocrat, and he's good friends with Trump. Even during Trump's private civilian life in between presidencies, Viktor Orban was going to Mar-a-Lago all the time.
Sent Vance there to try and keep him in power.
Yeah, they just tried to get him reelected. This last
Right.
like month or 2 months ago, Vance went there to do a campaign for Viktor Orban, the autocrat.
And don't tell me that's not campaign interference. But that's an autocrat. That's an autocrat. He's supporting a well-known one. Like that's not even in question. That would be like Vance going to Putin and supporting Putin's reelection. Would you support that?
And Orban donates to CPAC.
Right.
Ooh, CPAC. CPAC is the which one is that again?
It's conservative convention.
It's the
Here in
one
United
where
States.
Yeah, I don't like that type of like foreign funding and all that. I'm not a fan of that.
well,
We have
funding.
And Putin funds the NRA.
Right. CPAC is a convention where they raise the fundings and all that. But the convention that they have, matter of fact, Donald Trump didn't even attend the last one, which is kind of weird. Erica Kirk was there though.
Listen. She's an interesting woman, I'll tell you that much.
He's also trying to install another authoritarian back into Ecuador?
Honduras. Is it
Honduras.
Ecuador? I thought
It's Honduras.
Honduras. Yeah.
Yeah, he released somebody who sent 400 tons of the white stuff into the United States, was arrested for that. And now he's doing a large disinformation propaganda campaign in the Latin Americas. And he's trying to reinstall that dictator. He is friends with nothing but dictators, evil, horrible people. And he's grabbing parts of their playbooks and using them here.
And by the way, Venezuela, there has not been a regime change there. We just took out the head one. It's still the same people, the same ideologies. It's just the same rules that's happening there. It's just
I wouldn't say the same rules though. Definitely similar. I think what happened in Venezuela, it was a good show of force for America, but I don't think it was properly done.
it was illegal.
We did mess it up.
Can you imagine if Putin came in and stole Trump? What would happen?
Again, I don't think that's a fair
How is it not fair?
comparison. It would be more like if Putin sends somebody to go steal Japan, like the Japanese prime minister.
If someone came in and hijacked our president, can you imagine what the reaction would be?
Well, in a different scenario, it would be quite a bit different, considering a lot of people in Venezuela didn't like that dictator. They didn't like him like that.
Okay,
hold on.
You didn't like Biden. What if they came and stole Biden?
I would be absolutely mad. Because, of course, he was elected. I wouldn't want that. Because that's elected president. It's completely different from a dictator. If someone were to ever steal Biden, I would be incredibly pissed because that's all president, even if he's
So
a
what? How do you?
Democrat, which
So you understand now how Venezuelans feel?
no, because it's completely different because that's a dictator. That's not a president. That's not democracy. That's a dictatorship. If we had like let's say hypothetically
I get the point you're trying to make, and I do appreciate the point. I will give you a little credit on that. But people say, "Oh, they were celebrating in the streets." If if that happened to Donald Trump,
Petroli
there'd be people.
Polybolo super chatted $5. Venezuela signed an agreement with Iran in 2022 to navigate around US sanctions. Then Trump kidnapped Venezuela's president.
Yeah. So he's trying to stifle China, and Trump has lost at every point. His attacks with tariffs on China, like both sets of his tariffs were deemed illegal. So all of the things and deals he claims to have made, where he's going to bring in all this U.S. manufacturing and investment, that's all gone. So now his second swing at it was bringing all of these oligarchs to China to negotiate deals to throw around his weight. And I got a feeling it's not gonna end up well. We saw a very underwhelming performance. We can just talk about the Boeing plane purchases. Trump had to lie about it. Had to say, oh, well, they bought 50 more Boeing planes than we expected. When they were supposed to buy like 500, they only bought 200. And I just think that Trump's just really losing steam in this regard. But yes, all of this has been to stifle
I do
China.
agree. Yeah, do you think he's losing steam? I do agree with what with like the points you're saying that we're doing this to stifle China. I think the Venezuela stuff, the Cuban stuff, and the Iran stuff is not. We're not doing it just to them. We're doing it to stifle. I do think a lot of stuff has corresponded. It's because at the end of the day, America's biggest rival is China, not Russia. It's China.
I think we just got to swallow that pill that their leftist style economy performs better than ours.
I wouldn't say that, to be honest with you, dude. I wouldn't say that like a leftist economy. China is surprisingly mixed economy.
But I know
Like
it's
the
mixed, and that's what we want here in like the social
well,
democrats.
America is a mixed.
Well, I know. So a lot of people on your side, they just see all attempts to redistribute wealth as socialism and communism, and it's evil. When we can absolutely
I
do
will agree.
something
I
that's
will agree.
mixed.
Honestly, in my opinion, with our economy, I feel like America's mixed economy, I think, is pretty decent currently. Currently speaking, I feel like not we're currently as in like the past 10 years, 10, 14 years. I think a mixed economy America has is a decent setup compared to a lot of other countries that are only free market economies, and then those countries who are only command economies, like America's mixed economy.
Do you think that I might have the numbers wrong? It's right around though. Do you think that 1% of the country should have 90% of the dollar bills?
I don't think 1% should, but I do think
Right. So how's
that
that work?
it
That's
should
what
be
passes
around
out.
10% that has that type of way.
Why? Why wouldn't you spread that wealth
Because
out for everyone?
if everyone has like they even if we wanted to say that, right, if we distributed the wealth, we've seen how in practice that never goes well. Majority of the time it ends up with the government getting majority of the wealth, where the people it's backhanded and stickered for money compared
Back
to the actual government.
back in the 50s, it was very successful when we were taxing them at the rate of about 90%, companies at about the rate of about 90%. So it was very successful then. This is the time that Donald Trump likes to say great again. So that was very successful then.
So when we built
But I feel like
roads
that's a
and
tad
highways
different
and
from the
schools.
90s.
Right.
Because in the 90s, a lot of those big companies didn't have like in the 90s, right?
No, I'm talking about
Those big companies couldn't just like pack other stuff and leave to Moscow or leave to China or leave to a South American country.
think they're going to do it now.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of them can do that because China is a good economy. China does have a pretty decent economy.
250 years, there's never been a mass evacuation of companies because of taxes. 250 years of this country. There's been a few here and
Currently,
there.
there is. There currently is one in New York happening right now.
They're moving out of country.
They're moving out of the state
No,
due
they're
to the
actually
taxes.
so you have the owners of the companies moving out of state because places like Florida are not giving the individual taxes, but the companies are leaving there.
Yeah, I said about Florida, right? Isn't Florida having a bunch of those companies like leaving
No,
too?
the owners, the CEOs are moving there,
Yeah,
but the
okay.
companies are staying put. So
Yeah,
they're
I
getting
do
tax
like a
breaks
lot of the
like
stuff y'all are
like
saying,
Jeff
so I'm
Bezos
gonna
is a
listen to y'all.
perfect example. Jeff Bezos is a perfect example. He moved, I
Yeah,
believe, he moved to Florida, but Amazon stayed put.
yeah, okay. Is that where the headquarters is? Amazon headquarters is in.
I'm not sure. That might not be the best example, but that is an example of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I believe Amazon is
I get
now
what you're
actually
trying to say. I get what you're trying to say, man. Don't worry.
Yeah, there aren't too many countries that have a lower tax rate than us. So,
right.
and also we have the market. So, if you want to be successful as a company, you absolutely have to have a share of the United States market. That's the number one customer of the world. And
Yeah,
if you want to try to like goose step around all of these things, you're gonna have a hard time because you're gonna need a U.S. based company to do it.
And I think Joe Biden, I think it was it the G20 or something like that. Then this was early in his administration, went and said, "Hey, let's all of us get together, and if a company goes from another country to our country, we're going to automatically put 15% on them." That was his way. I don't think it was successful. It didn't. I know there was a lot of talk about it, but that was something to combat that. Like now we can tax them, and you want to go ahead and move. Um, Italy's going to charge you 15%.
yeah.
I believe that got shot down though. I know it was put out there.
Yeah, I am loving this like I love talking to people. I love getting both sides of stuff. But I do need to go use the restroom, so I'll probably be leaving soon. But I will say, I do think you two seem very chill and very down to earth and very positive. I'm very happy that. So thank you for that. Thank you for letting me have this moment. I will say, I think your chat, very interesting. A lot of them are very interesting individuals. But y'all yourself, y'all seem pretty decent. I'm gonna start
Appreciate it.
listening to your content.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you for having me
Pickles
on.
was rubbing off on me, but thank you.
Yeah.
All right, take it easy, dude.
All
You too,
right,
man. Great life, both of y'all.
good chatting with you.
I'm gonna.
I gotta get going, Pickles.
All right, man. It's good talk. Good seeing you, Fuzz.
Yeah, good chat. Thanks. I'll talk to you. Oh, by the way, the chat, I do appreciate there was a lot of love extended. I have not been around. There's all kinds of reasons why, but I do appreciate the love. Anyways, Pickles, I'll talk to you later.
All right, bub. Chad, if you're a Trump supporter and you want to debate, hop in the box. Come tell me why you like Trump. These are also my pay apps. If you guys are trying to support me, it's the best way to do it. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee, or if you want to kick somebody, it's $40. Otherwise, we're going to open the phone line back on. We missed a few calls. You're welcome to try again. And YouTube, if you're joining us, if you're watching, don't forget to thumbs up. Best way to do it. And a big shout out to I got 2 new members during this last live. Thank you so much, Jesse the Butt, with the membership. Let's go! Thank you so much. My YouTube channel is slowly growing. I appreciate y'all. Taffy, thank you for the gifted membership. And let's see. Roly Poly, appreciate the super chats and gift memberships. You like your yeah. All right. The phone line is on. Democrats are equal to the Al Shabaab. Militant extremistic group based in Somalia. Most of the violent extremism comes from the right. 70%. 20% from the left. We are, in fact, right-leaning compared to most liberal groups across the world. We are pretty conservative. Project Hail Mary is awesome film. Please enjoy it. Also, don't forget to follow. This is a new account, so if this plus button is still here, don't forget to hit it. We also have a few chirpers in the comments. You're welcome to come up and debate. Far right extremism is more lethal and frequent. That is correct. No shame. Listen, I love my commie and socialist friends. We may not agree, but anybody left of me is more of a friend than anybody right of me. That's for sure. Oh yeah, I can bring my backup. Guys, I'm going to bring my backup up, and if you guys want to give that a follow so that we grow that account and we have some sort of presence on a third platform. This is my third alt, so in the event this one gets nannered as well, this is where I'll be. This is also where I'm going to start doing like gaming streams and IRL streams and stuff. Also, we're doing these music streams, so I think we're going to do them on Friday nights around 7 Central. But if you guys want to come out, hang out, trade music, that's a thing we're going to start doing. The far right chanted Elon Musk, Charlie Kirk in London today. I blame y'all who voted Trump. Thank you guys for all the heart me's. Thank you, Zilla. The music streams are awesome. I know. Duh. They're mine. It's gross that the right can't see. They're like, oh, George Soros is funding all of these groups. Elon Musk is doing it in the open. He's doing it in the open, doing Yahtzee salutes, supporting the ADF in Germany. He's a disgusting human. Unironically, they are cucks for the deep state. Dim suck to high heaven. Republicans are dumb. And I think this is even borne out in data. Unironically. Did I get my Soros check this month? Still waiting on mine. Dude, we're in struggle city here this month. We haven't gotten a Soros check. We haven't gotten a Taylor Swift's check. Haven't gotten anything. What's up, Jonathan? Good to see you. BLM check just cleared. Damn. Hates the right yet owns an Apple iPhone. Yes, there is no correct way to do capitalism without one of Trump's friends owning the every means of like being able to live. You're right. I'm sure the people in Russia love oil, but Putin owns all of that, right? Your litter box check came in, dude. Jelly. I think I have to buy more litter to poop in. I'm running out. Lindsey Graham blackmail check. What's the logo on my hat about? It is from Naruto. 'Cause I'm a weeb. Scooter delivery update. It's coming in 6 days. Get off Republican-owned app. Republicans own everything. Where do I go? True Social? Chat, where are your stimulus checks from the tariff rebates? Did you guys get one? You have a scooter on the way too? Dude, W Scooter Gang. W Scooter Gang. You just shat on the floor. It happens, dude. Indigo Sarah, thank you for the $4 from Cash App. Thank you so much. Does your knee scooter count? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we accept all walks and wheels of life. If you got 2 or 3 wheels, you're welcome. We got a big tent. Everybody's welcome. What's the hat logo about? It's about defecting from the Hidden Leaf Village. It's from the villains of Naruto. All rules of life. Sure. Hello.
Hello.
Is that a picture of Nick Fuentes?
Yeah, I make fun of him for an incel.
Okay, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
What do you like about Trump?
What do I like about Trump? Well, I can go to abortion topics, I can go to trans topics, I can go to DEI if you'd like. You can pick either or.
Yeah, let's talk about trans.
Trans, okay. So, how about this? If I say I'm a woman, how do you know I'm telling the truth?
The same way I know you're telling the truth when you tell me you're a Cowboys fan.
Well, again, it's speculation. You're assuming that I am this. But again, how do you know that I'm fully and heartily believe that I am a woman and that I just don't want to look at women's bodies?
So we do this through years of therapy. When they have insistent, persistent, and consistent messaging that they're feeling in distress because their body doesn't align with their subconscious, I believe them.
But again, do you think there is some sort where they can be lying?
Sure.
So then you have to be cautious, correct?
Sure.
So then why should we let them in the bathroom?
Because they are not the source. They don't have an overrepresentation of SA. In fact, they are more likely to be SA'd or just assaulted. So I feel like this rhetoric is completely unwarranted. It is even dangerous for trans
Roll up
people.
on worldmetrics.org, it says trans people are at a 3.4 times higher percentage of doing prostitution than cisgender people.
Is that an assault?
An assault? No, but they're breaking the law.
Okay, but that's world records, right? So like, we can talk about Vegas where it's legal.
Okay, so anywhere, again, crime, okay? And let's not talk about the places that are legal against the people that are illegal. So even with that logic of saying, well, in Vegas it's legal, but if I'm a trans person and I'm, let's say, somewhere, let's say I'm in New York City, and then I sleep with a person, they pay me to sleep with them, and I get caught and I get arrested, okay? Am I breaking the law, or is it just by state? Like, by your logic, is it just by like,
That is breaking the law, sure. And what I would say is that that's not an indicator that they are dangerous people. There's people who do property crime or other types of crime that have nothing to do with being a violent person. So I would also say that most Americans speed Does that make them violent people?
Well, no, but violent is. But again, there are 4 times higher to do violent crimes than cisgender people too. On the worldmetrics.org, there is multiple sources you can go to. They are more likely to do more violent crimes than cisgender people.
Okay, do we have that borne out in the United States?
Yes, you do, because again, this year there's been more crimes by the LGBT or trans people than there have been by cisgender people alone.
But I wouldn't say that the trans part is what made them violent. I would say the right-wing ideology is what made them violent.
So again, they give them the right to unalive someone.
No, but I'm not saying that you're looking at the wrong. Like, it's just as relevant as saying they wore orange shirts.
So even that guy who was a comedian said we should start unaliving children till they let us in use whatever bathroom. Do you think that was okay for him to say that?
No,
But why did he say that? Why did everyone laugh?
I don't know. I've never even heard that. But that doesn't mean he gets to speak for all of trans people. And I think that it was harmful to the community, but probably not even close to as harmful as the stuff Trump has done. And the $200 million worth of messaging he did for anti-trans ads during his last campaign.
Well, again, like I'll use this logic. If a 5-year-old can determine what gender they are, then how can you determine what a baby is?
You can determine the sex of a baby.
But again, therefore, that means it's created of life at around 8 to 10 weeks. Like,
Again,
by
we're
that logic, you're
talking
saying
about
that's not a
sex.
baby. Well, again, you're saying that's not a baby. But it's a woman. A 5-year-old's but a woman.
No, like no one's born a woman, right?
Well, again, if a 5-year-old boy says, "Oh, I'm a woman," people believe he's a woman. But again, an 8-week-old who has a functional heartbeat and brain activity, so therefore, does it make it alive? Does it make it a baby?
I don't get what you're saying. What?
Is a fetus who's 8 weeks a living thing?
Sure.
So therefore, has moral consideration to live.
Not for me, no.
So therefore, then a 5-year-old cannot become a woman.
How so?
Because again, they don't have the brain structure to actually determine what they are. They're not old enough to make those kind of decisions. Just like, can a
So
5-year-old should a
the
5-year-old get a tattoo?
the threshold for my morality starts when you have the ability to deploy consciousness. So I don't think that moral consideration equates the ability to determine what gender you are.
So you take moral consideration over that, then not over moral consideration for consciousness. If a person's in a coma, okay, which one's more valuable? A 2-year-old with a conscious being, or a 30-year-old without consciousness in a coma? Which one's more valuable?
I would say both are the same.
So, well, again, one doesn't have a conscious. You can't use conscious as a thing, then.
I said deploy consciousness. So if somebody in a coma has the ability to deploy consciousness.
Well, like, so consciousness. I thought you said consciousness. Sorry, but in general, but so use consciousness as that kind of sort of factor. But again, if a 5-year-old can make that decision, then a 5-year-old should be able to determine to get a tattoo.
No. So a tattoo wouldn't be life-saving, but in fact, gender-affirming care is life-saving.
How is it life saving?
You're 70% less likely to have suicidal ideation
Well, then why are trans people more likely to commit suicide?
because they're usually experiencing gender dysphoria and distress.
So therefore they're experiencing that. Therefore, that's their problem again. So again, even if they identify as what they are, they're still committing suicide. So there's no point of doing that then, because again, if the
It
5-year-old commits
reduces
suicide,
it reduces the
reduces it.
ideology.
So again, if they accept it, okay, if they want people to accept for who they are, okay, and then but they don't, people don't, right? People don't accept for who they are. Should they kill them? Like, no, should they unalive themselves? Should they? Should they unalive
This
themselves?
happens all the
because
time. Do you believe that bullying causes people to unalive themselves?
bullying?
Yeah.
Bullying?
Yeah.
Yes, but again, cyberbullying, one simple thing.
What does bullying do to a person? What's the effect it has on somebody's mind?
Bullying? Well, one, it's got to hurt their feelings, but one simple factor is turn off the computer, is it not?
No, if it's happening in real life, right? Like, still
So again,
happens.
on computer, if someone says, "Oh, I'm getting bullied online," and then they unalive themselves, but only online, that's their fault for not turning off the computer, but they can continue to read.
That's not
the hateful
true. Even if
comment.
you turn off the computer, the damage is already done. And I have been victim of extreme online bullying because I used to have a job that was completely online, kind of like this. I know what it's like, and it's not as easy as just turning off the computer. If you go to school, it's not cyber, and you get picked on for, I don't know, having fat, juicy, voluptuous tits, but you're a boy, you're going to feel a certain way regardless. Even if the damage is done and you stop going to school, you're going to have these ideas, this ideation where you are unhappy or in distress with your physical, the physical nature of your body, right?
Okay,
It has nothing to
so
do with like what may or may not be true. As in reality, it's the fact that these people cause social pressures that cause him
okay,
distress.
so I'll give you an example then. The 9-year-old, oh, it's not 9-year-old, the transgender person who unalived 9 people in British Columbia in Canada. This happened. Got bullied, and the person unalived themselves. Do you think that's a result of bullying? And do you think that getting bullied, because that person has a video, and there is a video of that person laughing psychotically on camera, very psychotically.
Do I think
And
it's
again,
justified? No. But do I think that's an outcome of bullying? Yes. That of
so
course is an
laughing
outcome of bullying.
psychotically, you're saying bullying can lead to psychotic?
Yes.
Bullying can get,
Yes.
so 100% of the time it can lead to a psychotic diagnosis,
No.
right? But that person, before they were getting bullied, they were already diagnosed with this. So therefore, bullied was not just an external
So
factor.
it made it worse, right?
Made it worse?
Yeah. So like if this person was psychotic and they never got bullied, do you think they would have done this?
They still would have, yes, because there's videos of them literally saying, "I'm going to do this without getting bullied." They have.
Okay.
This person has violently hit their mother, hit their father, hit their brothers, assaulted someone, and also put someone in the hospital without
Okay.
getting bullied. This person
Okay.
was
And
called
there's
a
plenty of
psychotic
straight or cis people that do the same exact thing. What does this have to do with being trans?
with being trans again. The whole thing about being trans is if I say that I'm a woman, but I don't, and I just want to watch a woman get naked in front of me. Okay, they have to be cautious. Like the whole thing. Should it be legal for me to go look through a woman changing? Should it be legal?
Yes.
Should it be legal?
I'm sorry?
So I should be able to watch a woman change through her window.
No, I said it should be illegal.
That's what you're saying. Should I be able to? So it should be illegal. So then why is it legal for me to do it in the changing room?
Do you think that lesbians watch each other, like other women get undressed in the changing room? Do you think they enjoy that?
Again, it's intent. The whole thing is called intent, right? So if I'm looking as a man, if I'm looking to see women naked, but I'm not a woman and I just want to see them get naked, it's called intent. Just like if I look through their window changing, it's
Right.
called intent.
Right. And you don't know that 100%
therefore,
of
you
the
have to be
time that people
cautious.
who might be lesbian or gay, you don't know that they took like an extra class of PE just to do it twice or something. You don't know that, right? But you don't want to outlaw them being in changing rooms. You just want to do it to trans people.
Well, again, if a woman who wants to become a man, for an example, right? Let's say all stalls are taken up and she has to take a piss. How is she going to take a piss? Is she going to wait 5-10 minutes, or is she going to go to the women's bathroom? It makes no sense. Again,
have you
if you're
seen
going to
a women's bathroom?
have you seen a women's bathroom? Do they have a standing urinal?
No. That's my
So
point too.
again-
So like, here's a woman's restroom. Here's some toilets. All right. Where is it more likely that somebody gets to see a woman in a vulnerable position?
Well,
What
again,
part?
but again, if they're just there to piss, why won't they just go into the women's washroom?
They can.
So, well, why don't they?
Well, most of this is actually happening when trans women go into women's restrooms. Nobody cares. You're just more likely to be assaulted yourself if you go into the men's restroom and you're a trans woman.
Really? So assaulted. Okay. So then you're saying psychologically. Okay. So you're based on holding it psychologically, bullying, whatever, for motherboard stuff and this. So okay. William Keslow, early 20s, raped a 6-month-old baby, working at a youth care center. Was that due to bullying? Was that due to bullying?
No, I think that people
Raping
who
a
do grape,
6-month-old?
you'd have to prove that this happens disproportionately with trans people. So you can't just like select like one trans person who does a crime and say, oh, this is all trans people, because I can do this with white men, right? Like white men commit tons of these types of crimes. I have like a plethora more to show you. Most of these people are straight white men.
Really? So hold on. So then, by your logic, I'm thinking about that logic. Then again, I'm not saying all trans people, but you think, like, oh, all white men do this. But then again, that means if I go to Chicago, I should be scared of black people because they do a majority of the unaliving in Chicago. So I should stay away from Chicago and stay away from black people.
That's bigoted
in
thinking.
Chicago.
Yes, your school of logic is flawed and bigoted.
But again, and want you to tell your fans this: per capita, do you have a higher chance of getting unalived by a white guy or a black guy in Chicago?
You tell me.
No. You can tell. No, tell your fans. No,
I'll just ask
what do you
Google.
think?
I'll ask Google.
Go ahead. Per capita, higher chance of getting unalived in Chicago by race.
Do you believe that crime creates violence, or poverty creates violence, or crime?
Poverty. But
Yeah.
again, those most people in Chicago are gangsters, and they have nice chains, nice clothes, and everything too, don't they
But
not?
they're
They
still
own.
in
They
poverty,
literally,
right?
but again, they own like AK-47s, they own MAC-10s, they own everything. So again,
Yeah.
those cost thousands of
Were
dollars.
they born with AK-47s and gold chains?
No, again, but they bought those from doing the crime, did they not?
Right. And what? So that came after crime, right?
But again, what? So you're saying poverty
those
can lead to
things-
crime?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's
Poverty
justified.
leads to crime. No, it's not
What?
justified, but if you want to stop things at the source, you would stop poverty instead of just pointing at black people. You would say, "Oh, I wonder why
So
so
if-
many black people are in poverty."
Like, but then your knowledge, then if I'm broke, but if I have a job and I'm broke, do I have a right to rob a bank?
No, I'm not saying no one has a right to do this, but that is the source of the problem.
But again, poverty is made by decisions, is it not?
No, not all. No, not every time.
What is the most fundamental thing that supports the U.S. economy? What is it?
Small businesses.
No, the thing that supports the U.S. economy is narcotics. It is. It funds the U.S. It funds the U.S. It really does. Narcotics does fund the U.S. economy. It really does. We get in over billions of dollars, billions of trillions of dollars every single year just on narcotics alone. So therefore, if people take
I
narcotics,
think you're
which people are.
conflating narcotics with pharmaceuticals, and it's like the fifth biggest thing that we
So,
trade. They're not
if
all
I
narcotics.
But if I do hair, if I do H-Win, if I do H-Win, if I do H-Win, if I do the white powder stuff, and I get caught at work, is that the government's fault for letting this in, or is it the person's fault for selling it to me? It's fault again, or is it my fault alone for taking the drug alone? Whose fault is it? My fault for taking it, or the person selling it to me?
So I think there's a shared responsibility there, and I think that, like for instance, the black market has been. More or less the Republican Party, honestly, has created a larger market for the black market to like have a stronghold here in the United States. Like here in Texas, they just outlawed the green stuff. That is allowing more people in the black market to come and sell and make money illegally and do crime.
Well, again, but getting rid of those is not going to stop anything. It's still my choice of doing it. Again, you think pube guns are bad? Obviously, they're bad. There should be stricter gun laws. But again,
They're all over the
with
place.
that, so again, with that logic, then if people, but people are always going to get guns illegally. So with that being said, just like people are going to get drugs illegally, right?
All right, just kidding. Vicky, thank you for the kick. Kick this racist asshole. If you still take kick, I do absolutely. Chat, thank you so much. Chat, it's $40 to kick somebody. Emmy, hi, I love you. You're welcome to give us.
Yeah, I just want to share, if it's cool with you, I'll just share a quick stat about the self-unaliving ideation rates linked to harassment. In the 2022 trans survey, as you know, there's almost 90,000 participants in that survey. 31% of those who had no victimization considered self-unaliving in the past year, compared to 50 for those who were verbally harassed, 53% for those who were denied equal treatment, and 63 for those who were physically assaulted. So we can see that as you increase that harassment, the self-unaliving ideations increase as well. So just some hard data on how that actually interacts for you.
Thank you, Emmy.
So yeah, no problem. That's all I was going to pop in to say. Thank you for being such a great defender of trans people, and I love you. Have a good day.
Love you back. What's up, vegan?
How you doing?
Doing good. Are you a Trump supporter?
I'm independent, but as far as the bathroom thing, New York State has a law where there has to be a men's and women's bathroom in the bar in order to create some sort of safety for women to go into in case they're being harassed or being bullied by a man at the bar. So, and on that's one point. The other point is the guy was talking about discrimination. Affirmative action has been around a long time. Loan discrimination even longer. You don't even have to show your face anymore to get a loan. And as far as women, as far as what else was I going to say? Shit.
Are you saying that redlining is not a
Matt
thing
Walsh.
anymore?
Matt Walsh has debunked everything. There's nothing you can say that changes anything. Matt Walsh has destroyed this whole conversation. It's not even a topic anymore.
Sure.
That's it. It's dead.
Sure.
Okay? Enjoy your day.
Trust me, bro. Matt Walsh.
Wow.
Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
No, absolutely not. I just wanted to come up and say something about that moron that someone paid you to drop. You know, the idiocy that people think that bullying doesn't have long-term effects means that they don't even have a single experience with having had an incident or experienced someone else having an incident. And the rates of bullying that happen in schools, not in the home, are astronomical. The long-term effects are permanent. And a person that's reacting to a lifetime of bullying is not reacting to a momentary event. They're reacting to what has been going on all along. And yes, it can cause psychotic issues in some people. If a bullied person never gets any relief from bullying or gets the help to deal with the bullying, or the situation doesn't change, they are eventually going to lash out. Whether it is that they take a life or not is an extreme. But the stupidity of that other caller that absolutely said that a person that wasn't bullied at the moment they took on that action isn't a direct reflection of all the bullying they suffered tells me that they are woefully uneducated.
Agreed.
And people need to stop with this bullshit about trans people being the sort, using two cases over and over and over again. Everybody that brings up those two cases out of the hundreds and thousands, as you pointed out earlier, cases of white men doing far worse on a regular basis and probably committing crimes like that right now as we speak.
Yeah.
And no one challenges these people. Two cases. And you want to put two cases up against tens of thousands of cases. All you have to do is look to the Catholic Church and the priests and the Boy Scouts. There's two examples right there.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for getting angry, but I'm so sick of these ignorant people.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me up.
Anytime. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Chat, we have to get more and more inflammatory to get these people up here. But my prompt is MAGA is fascist. Prove me wrong. MAGA is fascist. It is a fascist movement.
Hey, Pickle, can you hear me okay in my headphones?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I just wanted to point out that what these people don't understand that keep having all these problems with trans people is they don't seem to understand that what they're really afraid of is men. Because they're not afraid of lesbians in female bathrooms. They're not afraid of lesbians in women's change rooms. They're not afraid of the women's bathroom being full and me heading over to the men's bathroom to take a piss there, and I'm not seeing any penises. They're afraid of men. They're afraid of men pretending to be women and using the bathroom, which is ridiculous. So it's like they have a mental block on thinking about what it actually is, and they really need to like unpack their own fears and maybe their own thoughts of what they would do in a women's bathroom. Because as soon as he's going on and on about that, the first thing I think is he's thinking about what he would possibly do if he gained access to a women's bathroom. He's not thinking of what a trans woman would do, because no one's worried about trans men. I've shared bathrooms with trans men tons of time. I've shared bathrooms with lesbians at lesbian bars, and nothing is happening that's non-consensual. And so, yeah, the biggest thing for me is that these guys are not realizing that it's their own stuff they need to unpack about their feeling of what they could and would do in a women's bathroom. Anyways.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go back to work. Love you,
All
bye.
right. Love you. I think Emmy's coming back up. Chat, if you want to debate, you're welcome to call the phone number on the screen, which I need to put back up. Boop. There we go. Or hop into the box on TikTok. Also, if you haven't followed me, give me a follow. My Cash App and PayPal are right here, and Venmo. If you guys are trying to send me support, the best way to do it. It's also $40 to kick somebody if there's somebody that just really sucks, which is a lot of them. That's one way to interact with the stream. Discussing Trump is getting you paid. Say TY Daddy. I would be just as thankful to Trump as I would be Shitler if I had to have a platform to speak out against fascism taking over our country, which would be no thanks at all. Hello? Thank you so much for that. Goodbye. That was great. Thank you. Thank you, chat. We're going to be here all day. We're going to be here all day. That was great. Yeah. If you've got a cute little background like that, yeah. I have a little more trust in you. What a nice little interlude, chat. Be sure to drink your water today. Be sure to clip your toenails today, chat. They said you're welcome in C minor. Dolphin, thank you for the 300 comments. Thank you so much. Guys, MAGA's fascist and they can't even defend it because they won't come up here and tell me how they're not. Trump got you, chat. Trump got you. If you're a MAGA, you're just wrong about most things. Don't drink your toenails, clip your water. True, true, true. You did clip your toenails today? That's good. It was literally a little kid. Is it? That's freaking awesome if that's a little kid. Oh, really? 16. You know what? Fucking W's. Freaking W's, chat. What else are we looking at in the news today, y'all? Trump's China summit shows a toll of a difficult year for the president. Exactly 1 year after the visit to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the United States, the United Emirates became China. A very difficult moment in his presidency with inflation spiraling and no easy way out of a conflict with Iran. The flight has ensnared the U.S. military, driving energy prices up and Trump's approval rating down. This time, there were no sweeping declarations about how Trump's America would manage the world, nor backslapping Bonhomie shared with Gulf royals who offered golden swords and honor guards riding Arabian steeds.
Hello?
Hello, RC.
Yeah, I just wanted to say fuck the left. I hope a lot of evil happens to you guys. There is no compromise. There is no middle ground. Fuck all of you. That's how I feel. I've been far too nice to you fucking pieces of shit. Fuck you.
W crash out.
At the Taffy bot super chatted $10. W person playing the piano. W's for pickles for not swiping left.
W Taffy. Fuck yeah. I like to think of myself as like the nicest political debater on TikTok. Hello.
Bro, really? You guys didn't learn after Charlie to calm it down with certain words, huh?
Oh, you think you're not a fascist?
I don't know. Let me think. Have I gone to any movements and tried to silence dissenting thought, or have I tried to oppress the other side? I don't remember. Let me think.
The state's doing that for you, right?
Yeah. Well, oh no. Now I remember when I first saw it, when Antifa was silencing talkers at colleges and things like that. Is there something like that MAGA's done that you can help me to pick your fascism better?
So if Joseph Goebbels came and did a speech...
Joseph Goebbels. Help me out. Who's Joseph Goebbels?
The guy that was a propagandist for Hitler. If he did a speech on a college campus, would you let him just talk?
Yeah, sure. So we could see his ideas and mock them. Yeah,
sure.
Easy.
Would you call him fascist, or would you be afraid for violence?
Depends. Are we talking about when fascism was occurring?
Yeah, so
I would have no problem calling him a fascist if fascism was occurring.
So
and then we can expose him on stage.
You just gotta wait until they're doing fascist stuff like y'all are doing
right.
right
So
now.
Please let me know optically, so it can help me as a layman understand. You know, hey, what's the most fascist thing you saw? Be like, oh my gosh, you see how he's like Mussolini? You see? Yeah. Help me out there.
Sure. So we can go through the 14 tenets of fascism.
No. I don't want a gish gallop. And if you're going to pick the 14 tenets of fascism, go ahead and pick one and then give me the tangible optics of it that I can now be like, oh, now I see what you're talking about.
Okay, we can just do suppressing of the free press. So so we just fell to 69th place in freedom of press worldwide. We have Trump using the FCC chair. I think it's Brennan Carr. He is absolutely harassing news stations who say unkind things to Trump. Trump is also using his federal powers to stifle his opponents, threaten them, call them illegal, kick them out of the Oval Office, kick them out of the White House briefing, kick them out of the Pentagon.
I don't want to gish gallop. I don't want to gish, or not gish gallop. I don't want to. Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff.
Actually, it is a gish gallop.
Go ahead.
Let's start at the beginning. You said he's putting pressure on the FCC. Other than Kimmel, who is it that they're,
ABC.
Saying watch your language?
ABC. We saw actually a lot of them comply in advance. So a lot of them, like MSNBC, had to go kiss the ring on the way in for Trump's presidency. They had to go to Mar-a-Lago and
they
say,
had
hey,
to.
Great. Yes.
Morning Joe had to kiss that ring.
Yes, because their licenses are at stake.
So whose license did get pulled?
No one yet, but he's kicked multiple people out of the Oval Office, right?
Is the idea that he's just not going to commit the fascism until 2028? Is that what we're thinking? Which, by the way,
I think I'm
starting to think 2028 would be a good idea at this point.
I think we're litigating this. I think it's a little harder to do. I think just because Trump doesn't have complete control of all news cycle and like all of the news channels doesn't mean that it's not fascism. He is absolutely.
Then maybe give me something more Mussolini-like. Give me something more
Hitler-like.
Mussolini-like.
Have you heard of Lugenpress?
No. Jesus.
Lugenpress is a lying media. Does that sound familiar?
No, still not familiar.
So not familiar, like with Trump saying that the fake news is lying. Everyone's lying. So no matter what I show y'all, it just falls on deaf ears. You're like, oh, let me guess your source.
It really doesn't help, though, does it? It really doesn't help when you have a 1-year investigation that ends up proving nothing.
Like
no
what?
Russia collusion.
Oh my!
That doesn't really help. By the way, that would also make a good art. that would also make a good argument for why he kind of deserves a 2008 run. It's like, you guys really, he had a lot of hindrance in his first term. You have 1 year of Russiagate, which proves nothing, which is just kind of flabbergasting considering how much leeway they had for that investigation.
Let me talk to you about that. Let me talk to you about that.
We then have.
Are you familiar with Cambridge Analytica?
Yeah.
What happened with Cambridge Analytica in 2016?
They used it to create memes. Or Russia used it to create memes. Memes for the 2016 election.
Oh, and who were they trying to get elected?
Oh, who were they trying to get elected?
Wasn't it
Pickles?
Trump?
I'll let you answer this one.
Trump,
Pickles.
right?
Who were they trying to get? Was it only Trump though?
Yes.
With those memes, was it only really?
They were targeting voters in swing states who were on the fence. They got all this information from Facebook. Steve Bannon was part owner, right? Steve Bannon in Trump's administration, right?
So that's your basically play. The memes are enough to constitute.
Oh, you're right. They're memes. They're not misinformation. They're not things to sway votes. It was
were those memes misinformation? I remember one very clear as day where it literally showed, hey, remember what the DNC did to Sanders?
So if it was all true, they were still saying things that were true to get Trump elected. Is that not collusion? Steve Bannon doing that?
Oh, but that's the other problem. So you've made two mistakes. So you've made two very, very flawed mistakes. One is the fact that a lot of what they put out there was true, even, those going one side or the other. The other being, you think that they were all only targeted at Trump, huh? Let's look into that, Pickles. This is why it's fun with you guys. All you have to do is pin you down immediately on the first thing you bring up before you go into this long monologue of all these facts that you think nobody's paying attention to. Yeah. No, but I'm going to hold you to now this. So we'll start now with the memes. Were the memes only targeted at Trump? Let's see. All
right. So while you're looking that up, here are some of the lies. So one was fabricated corruption, defamation tropes. So to lift Donald Trump's prospects, Cambridge Analytica affiliated PACs such as the Mercer Fund, Make America Number One, Super PAC, launched heavy ad campaigns aimed at vilifying Hillary Clinton. These ads stripped context from political events and outright amplified debunked conspiracy theories such as Pizzagate and claims that she was physically and mentally unfit for office, kind of like y'all did with Biden, to make Trump look like the only viable savior for the presidency. They also amplified and weaponized falsehoods to defeat
right, but Pickles,
Hillary.
Obviously the argument here isn't did they in fact do the other side as well? The argument is
Cambridge
is
Analytica
it only the benefit
Trump?
Is it only to the benefit of Trump? That's the argument. Yes. Was this in
their main
for
goal
the benefit of
was to vilify Hillary and to win Trump?
So the memes election. You're saying are like there was only 10% that made Hillary look good, and then 90% was Trump. Is that the kind of claim you're making?
No, I think you keep trying to read. Can you just come out and say what you're going to say? Are you going to tell me that Cambridge Analytica also tried to do things on behalf of Hillary?
No. What I'm getting at is that the memes that were sent out via Russia were not 100%, not 90%, not 80%. Actually, I guess what I am asking is what percent do you think that is? Because obviously if it's 90 to 10, you're right. If it's 90% in favor of Trump versus 10% for Hillary, then you are correct. I can't argue that. What is the ratio? So we know that you're not full of shit, Pickles. I mean... Anybody who knows anything knows you're full of shit, but,
There's no exact public percentage breaking this down. We got 5,000 ad campaigns for
Have you
the
looked
Trump
at the memes?
presidential-
Because I've looked at quite a lot of the memes there, Pickles. Have you done at least that?
Here we go with the Gish Gallop.
Is that a Gish Gallop asking
percentage
if you looked at the
of negative
memes
to
that we're
positive ads is not
talking
available.
about?
Independent investigations and disclosures from former reporters like Christopher Wiley confirmed that a massive, if not primary, component of Cambridge Analytica's work involved creation of psychometric targeting of negative ads, deterrence messaging, conspiracy-driven media aimed at damaging Clinton's campaign. So it was largely yes.
So one article said this, yes?
Do you want to give me some conflicting information?
No. I'll go with your premise then. So... You're saying that these memes were in fact enough because they were backed by Cambridge Analytical, respected data center, yada, yada. You say that was enough to justify
there was
co-conspirators, right? to justify co-conspiracy that Mueller couldn't basically bring the light to say, yes, here it is, plain English,
They were pursued
conspiring
and
against
found,
the U.S.
they
due
were
to conspiring with Russia.
They were found liable for this.
They were, but nobody got indicted for basically conspiring against Russia over colluding with Russia.
Okay.
Were they?
Because it was shut down, right?
Were
Because
they?
Trump was president.
Oh, is that why? Is that why it was?
Yeah.
Mueller got hamstring. I mean, don't get me wrong. Getting rid of Comey technically is a viable argument for that. But you're telling me Mueller just wasn't able to make it stick. Not with the surveillance we had under Obama. That was fun too, right? When you have 4 people in that investigation who are under surveillance. Is it a pivot when I'm literally talking about the amount of... Let me try to explain it to you, Pickles, since clearly I'm being confusing. I am trying to show the gravity of Mueller's investigation by showing the broad fucking avenue or leeway he was given to do so. And we know one of those things was surveillance under 4 people who were in this indictment. This is how much berth and room they had, and yet they could not charge them with this.
But
this
we
crime.
have this, right? We have Cambridge Analytica.
We
caught
sure
dead
do.
in their tracks doing that.
We
even
sure
though you
do.
tried to argue that they try to do both sides, but we don't have anything saying that.
And you're saying that Mueller...
Did you find any good sources for your argument how it wasn't purely for Trump?
No.
You didn't? Okay.
No.
So you were
But what
just
I
upbeat
am
about
now
being
going
wrong?
to is the validity of the claim that if this was so significant, how is it that it basically
So there was
didn't
Russia
get him in trouble
collusion.
under the Mueller investigation?
Got it. So it's not so bad that it was pursued in an indictment, even though the reason they said they shut down the indictment was because Trump was sitting president. Ugh. Every day. Every day, YouTube. Every day. Let's see if the appeal happens. Oh my God.